Well, welcome back to another episode of Culture Chat. We are very lucky to be joined today by the wonderfully insightful and just like calm, beautiful energy that Lindsay Gates Strawn of Wolf and Moon Coaching bring to us. So, Lindsay, I think my first question, I must know, how did you come up with the name?
Oh, thank you for asking. It's so fun to be here with you two as well. Gosh, I have an affinity for the moon. Every time I see it when I'm driving or out, I'm just like, it's like the first time every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too, Andy. And I am a somatic relationship coach, and I feel like different cultures across the board, we all are aware that like the wolf and the moon have a relationship together. But they stand alone really well as individuals. Like when we think of a wolf, we also think, lone wolf, or we think wolf pack. That's pretty versatile. And then I feel if working with, the masculine, feminine, or what I like to call the protector and the nurturer, those can emulate those analogies really well, like the moon being more of the nurturer, the wolf being more of the protector. So I feel like it's just a really fun, playful thing. And then plus, I really like the visual of it that I created my logo. And then you can also use emojis as well. So branding and yeah,
Yes, love it.
yeah, I think it's just, yeah, a great way to talk about relationships and with animals, or personify in a certain way with the moon. And it's not just saying like, I do relationships. People have their own interpretation of it. And that makes it even more exciting to be like, what does the wolf and the moon mean to you? And then I get to understand people from that aspect even more.
I mean, first of all, the whole moon thing, everyone thinks I'm crazy because I will call up people and be like, go look outside.
Yeah.
Did you see them? But I think there's definitely like a connection to how we live, our emotions. I mean, the moon is very impacted by the rotation of the earth and the water and the sea. And I mean, it's all connected, and there's no way we can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no way we can't be connected to that as well.
Yes. Yeah. It just gives me excitement. There's something like bigger than us. And it just helps us get back to, our natural rhythms. And especially working with women, it's like, I like to ask people, like, where are you at in your cycle? Like, how is the moon even impacting you? How can we work with the biorhythms even more than just, I don't know, like, oh, I started my period and I'm not sure why I'm feeling this way, but like, how can we connect to the earth and the environment just a little bit more in a way that's universal to us?
Yeah. A lot of science to it too, right? My doctor actually, probably too much information, was having some just challenges and issues. And he was like, actually around perimenopause and all of that. And so he started to talk to me about seed,
Cycling.
seed cycling. He started talking to me about seed cycling, and he was like, listen, and when you start to do the research, it's like, depending on where the moon is and depending on where your cycle is and what seeds you consume and don't consume and how that affects your hormones.
Yeah.
And again, not just stuff people like us like to talk about, but there's science behind it enough that as an integrative doctor, he's making recommendations around it.
Makes me so happy. Yeah. Another fun way I like to think about that is each week of the cycle is a different season. So if you're someone that still has their period, that is your winter month. So just talking about in season, so then we know in the winter, we kind of tuck in, we look inward, we're not as active. And then when the ovulation week, that's summer. And so you are in the summertime, you think like, oh, the sun stays out late, I'm partying, I have so much energy, feeling really playful. I'm like, might be wearing less clothes because it's hot out. And then in the fall is the week before your period. So if you still have a period, and that's more like you're calming down, you're shedding, the leaves are falling, you're a little bit quieter, but there's still things to celebrate. And, we have Thanksgiving and Halloween and in the fall. And then springtime is the week after your period, where it's like, oh, I'm coming out of the winter. I'm getting my energy back a little bit. And so that's like a really cool way to think about your energy. So even when I'm
Fascinating.
I
working
love
with
it.
women, I'm like, are you in your fall, winter, um,
love
summer,
it.
spring? Because then that gives me a little bit more information of like hormonally, where are we at? And I'm not a doctor, but it is just a helpful frame for myself and other people to be like, oh, okay, I'm having so much energy. Things feel like brighter. I'm like, maybe you're in your summer. Yeah, maybe not, but it can help just put a frame around things.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think I've gotten pretty good at like honing in on what it is that I'm feeling. And what you said just totally resonated on, oh yeah, that's why this week I'm feeling more like this week. And I actually don't get a period anymore. I had a
Yeah.
hysterectomy in like my mid 30s. So and that it wasn't a traumatic thing or anything. So it's not a big, like, it's not a huge deal for me. But I have noticed like I don't have that reminder, that trigger, of like, oh, okay, this is why. So I have to be even more intentional of like, okay, if I were to be getting my period, where would I be in the cycle? And I have to work much harder at keeping notes about that stuff. Cause again, like,
Oh, right.
you can, everybody knows when they're on their period. You're like, oh, and I had to do that thing, like, so you're like, oh, that was that day that I had it because I was, doing this thing. So it was a lot easier to keep it connected to the calendar based on whatever other event or thing I had going
Yeah.
on. Whereas I don't have that clear reminder anymore. So I've got to be like more diligent and specific on where I think I am.
Yeah, I understand that in my own way, even like I shared before we pushed record. I'm from Illinois, and then now I'm in California, and January and February or even December, I mean, those are winter months. And then living in California, it's sunny, we don't get snow. So I have to remind myself, but we're in winter. I don't have to do everything.
Yeah.
Like, my body wants to tuck in and like keep it close to home. And so I have to keep kind of a mental note, like, don't try to do everything because summer is coming.
Yeah.
And so even on other side of the spectrum of like, we need, our bodies are cyclical. And just like the moon.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because it doesn't feel like, two things really come to mind. One, it doesn't feel like the world is set up for us that way, right? It's like press gas and go, and then stay on the gas and go and go and go. There isn't this time of like, oh, I actually need, if we talk about it in terms of the seasons, this is time for winter where we just chill and settle in. Oh no, our foots are constantly on the gas. I think the second piece I'll say, particularly for women, is one, I don't think that there's 100% clear understanding of how all this stuff affects us, right? We're not small men or whatever. We're not an alternate version of men. We are complete.
Someone actually said we're an alternate version of men.
That's how medicine treats us.
Fair, very fair, very fair.
So women must have this. I love to use cardiovascular disease as an example. When any of us right now, most people who probably aren't as informed, if I say, oh gosh, my stomach's been hurting for 2 days, my back's been hurting for 2 days, they're going to go into all my digestive issues. No one's ever going to look at my heart. You know why? Because men don't get stomach aches and they don't get back aches when they're having heart attacks.
Oh, wow.
All the medical people talk about heavy chest, left arm, all the things. So I say all that to say, I forgot really, but I think that this level of like trying to, this level of understanding the seasons and understanding the impact of the seasons on ourselves and on our bodies is fascinating to me. And we definitely don't, I don't think we talk about it enough. And I'm pretty sure people don't know how to even like incorporate how to what's the word? How to adjust their lives to the seasons.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about that.
We saw that in some way in 2020 when we were all mandated to slow down, and that was really difficult for folks. It was a kind of a shit show anyways, but
pretty good
one aspect that I'm focusing on is the ask to slow down and what that felt like in our bodies when even we took our foot off the gas pedal, our cars, our bodies, our brains, our, doing was still going. And so just having that experience, that availability to slow down, that was so uncomfortable in all of our nervous systems, I feel, because we haven't really practiced feeling comfortable slowing down. We are, especially as women, trained, groomed, designed, but amplified to overcare and take care of others. So when we were asked to take care of just ourselves and we were out of community in that way, I mean, we saw so much crumble. We saw depression. We saw excess of drinking. We saw so many things that we're like, oh my gosh, we are designed to slow down, but that is incongruent with our societal norms. And that, I think, felt scary. And we had, we're still trying to recover from that and make sense of that. And so I personally am very privileged, but slowing down feels good in my body. So I was one of the few people that felt like, oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, I have a reason. I finally have a reason. I have permission. Someone gave me permission to do that. Yeah. I mean, this might be a little too provocative, but I actually think COVID was like the bigger sign in our species to be like, you guys are gonna screw it up if you don't slow it down. And so, like there's movies out there of like end of days, end of world. And I'm like, I think this was our little starter of like, hey species, if you don't get your shit together and slow down, here's what's going to wipe you out, Yeah.
Be a moose, if you will. Like, it's not even, it wouldn't even come close to an appetizer. It's just such a small taste. And look at the huge
devastation.
Yeah. Yes. So that's something that I teach women how to do, is to do less, to receive more, so they can be in true partnership, which whatever that means, that can be partnership. Like y'all are in a partnership, you have the Be Kind Life thing. So you want to show up as, equals and delegate what's everybody's role wants to take. Or you could think of it in a way of like intimate partnership. Most women, or people that identify as women, feel that they need to do the most and carry the relational load, so their relationship will go in the direction and the way that they want. But I think that is the demise of the relationship. And then they're going to be not happy, and they're going to be exhausted and resentful, and their partner is going to be like, everything's fine over here. It's like, well, of course, because
you're not doing your part.
Of
course it's fine.
We see this, I mean, everything from declining birth rates, that's not happenstance. I know countries are trying to be like, oh, like, let's, whatever but it's like women are sick and tired of, at least what I'm seeing in my universe, women are sick and tired of all the pressure sitting on their shoulders for everything. And I think we are at this crazy turning point where we have it. And you have it I'm here in Jamaica, and it's here. Young women here, like, I am not trying to have kids with these men who are playing video games all day and come home from work. No, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? It's a very like, women have had it up to here. And I think it's to the point where I truly believe we are the nurturing sex. I think we relish and love to be that. But I think somehow it's taken on a life of its own. Where it's like, you're supposed to make everybody feel better, no matter to the demise of your own self, right? Like, you have to be the person all the time. And I think it's being rejected at this point.
Yeah. And the word overcare, like the over part, like I want us all to care. I love that anybody that feels like a natural nurturer, like we have we have access to both parts, but where it
Sure.
gets, it's over anything, like overeating, over drinking, over caring, just being out of balance, being in that
That's it.
heavier side of the things is really what's gonna like upset the, the opportunity to be partners, to be equals, to come together and to be able to walk side by side, hand in hand, and not have resentment or feel alone, lonely, not understood.
There was a sorry, Rachel.
No.
Oh, okay. There was, I think it was late last year, on TikTok. There was a man. What do they call something bros? They call the guys who like go overseas to get women. Passport bros. So there's these passport bros, and he's proud to be a passport bro, where he went to another country, probably a less economically advantaged country, and married a woman, brought her to the US. They've been married for however long. She's had some kids, and she's now been like, yo, I don't like it. I don't like the way you're treating me. I don't like
Good.
Do you know, I am laughing so hard because this is like, do you remember, I think it was in the 80s, I can't remember if it was Raw or Delirious, where Eddie Murphy is like, Eddie, what have you done for me lately?
But
oh my
she has
God.
been saying to him how she's like, she needs more help. She's been communicating to him her frustrations. He has ignored them because in his mind, he's like, look how lucky I have made you.
I saved you. I saved you from a life of...
Yeah.
And she filed for divorce. And this guy got on Beyonce's internet and started to go down the road of like, I am so shocked. And I don't know what happened. And it's like, you can't be shocked if a woman's you haven't been listening. There shouldn't be shock. Why would you think that any human being would want to... And let's just, for the sake of the argument, let's just say she is the CEO of the house, where she is taking care of kids and she's cooking dinner and she's doing laundry and she's doing all the things. Why would you think that you'd be tired coming home from work, but that she would never be tired coming home from work? And that is such a huge chasm between... Not every relationship, obviously. There's men who are wonderful and beautiful and all of the things, and women who can be crazy and all the things, right? So this is not a zero-sum game. But I think there are huge chasms in communication around expectations, and it seems a lot of expectations often fall on the woman's shoulders to manage it all. And I don't know what my question is here. I mean, maybe it's just around... Because women are already answering what they're going to do. They're piecing out of the whole situation, right? They're getting divorces and they're doing things that people coming together. And there's a recent 2 women who have kids bought a house together, and they're like, we don't need a man. Like, we're just going to ourselves and do our thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering how you see a bridge, because that's obviously, we don't be on opposite sides of the dance floor. Like there should be an opportunity where we coexist better.
The thread that I would pull from what you shared is the expectation. And then what I also heard you to talk about is domains. Like the people that you were referring to, like her domain, you said she was the CEO of the house, and his domain seemed to be doing work outside of the house, and he saw himself as the breadwinner. And I think there are sometimes miscommunications of, okay, but what domain are we actually talking about? Like, are we talking about our expectations at home, how we provide? Are we talking about our expectations of how we work outside of the home? Are we talking about our expectations with children and parenting? Are we talking about our expectations in the domain of our social lives? Like, who's in charge of that? I think breaking down who's in charge of what and can be a really helpful tool instead of these like really overarching conversations where people think they're being really specific. And what I understand of working with people, like, just because I can even follow what they're needing and wanting, and maybe holding a mirror up to say, like, maybe that wasn't as explicit as you thought, because I'm even trying to, make sure that I'm hearing you clearly too. Perhaps, maybe y'all are being a little bit ships in the night, and you could be a little bit more, you could use your energy a little bit more efficiently by being even more specific about the domains and the categories. So we both get what you want, and you both understand where y'all are coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that for so many reasons. I mean, we see this at work too. Andie and I spend a lot of times talking with leaders, and that is about being really clear on your expectations, right? I hold people accountable. Well, are they clear as to what you expect? What does that actually look like? And you think too, like you work with somebody or you're in a marriage with somebody for a long time, like we just finish each other's sentences, well, again, that's not how it works. So I really love how you break it down in the different domains and like getting really specific. Because I did a lot of work in my late teens and early 20s. I'm a 4-time therapy graduate, so I like to think that when I found a partner, I was a full complete person. And that's what my husband and I talk a lot about too. Like, we don't need each other. And I think this is why our relationship works well, because again, we don't need each other. We like each other. And yet 20 plus years into it, it could we still think we like know what we're doing and making assumptions about what the other's thinking. So slowing it down and being really explicit. And the word I would use is intentional on our communication. Like, what exactly are we talking about? Am I giving you decision making power on this piece, and I'm taking decision making power on this piece, or where do we want to collectively do this? I like to say that it's when we have a shared project, it makes all of our communication a lot better, because we're using that project as a way to be intentional and clear. And then that pattern is just showing up in all the different aspects of our life.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That slowing it down feels like it, circled back through with what we were talking about with the seasons, and that intentionality of just being like, and even with the 2020 lockdown of like, do I feel, because 95% of our decisions, actions, behaviors, choices, emotions are subconscious. So we are only using 5% of our conscious mind to move through the world. And so even intentionally taking a deep breath, slowing down, even just remembering to habit stack that in, to be like, oh, can I slow down and look around and assess? Am I just operating from my subconscious, thinking that everybody is reading my mind and having all this information? Or do I feel comfortable enough to sit down and be clear, really make sure that, if I'm working with other people in the office, or I'm working with my intimate partner, can we make time to really be clear and make sure everybody has the understanding, so then we can both take a step forward and actually be efficient.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. We wanted to talk a little bit too about intuition. So yeah. So
What do you want to talk about?
well, what does that mean to you, right? And how do you empower women, particularly, to really trust that intuition and gut, or however you think about that? Like, talk a little bit about that.
Wow, what a great question. Thank you for creating the space to allow us to think about and feel into our own intuition. So I love that you said, listen to our gut, because the way that I like to connect with people and teach people how to connect with themselves is listening to their body, trusting themselves. And so many of us have learned along the way that it wasn't safe. We might even gaslight ourselves because we were in unhealthy relationships and gaslit by other people. And so I think manipulation is something that people aren't really aware that they are doing. It's just really low-hanging fruit and a coping mechanism. And so we might have had a parent that didn't really trust us. We might not have felt like we were empowered growing up to make good decisions. It could be a sibling that was always telling us, like, no, you're not right. I'm in control. I have the power. And so intuition to me is, yeah, slowing down, really listening to your own body, your like coming from your own internal compass, that I am space in your body, being led by your own knowledge, your truth, and feeling confident to share that and test that out and make choices from that place. But it does take a lot of safety within the self to make those kinds of choices. I think subconsciously we give our power away so easily. So it's keeping it for yourself and leading from there.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah, that
y'all?
well, that resonates. Know that the giving away your power resonates, and I feel like I'm always like blaming society, but it's like almost as it feels like a lot of times. I'll just use myself as an example. So I'm 5'9". I am broad shouldered. I out height a lot of people. Especially back in the day, I was always the taller person. I am not white, but I grew up in Orange County, so I was one of very few people of color. I don't think I have a quiet, demure persona. I think it's very big, and it can be very loud. And for a long time in my life, it was like, you're making people feel uncomfortable, And so it was the shelling up, because Jesus, I'm not looking to go out in life and make people feel uncomfortable, but I think to a certain extent it's a bit of gaslighting, right? Like you're right. Whatever your biases are, whatever your feelings are, you're pushing that back on me when I'm really not doing anything at all. But it did cause me to stay quiet in meetings, not want to raise my hand in school, all these things that sort of really did disempower me. And it took a long, long, long time. And even now I still struggle with it, right? But it took a long, 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 long time to try and overcome that. So I feel like the pressure girl, especially younger girls, in these formative years of where they're figuring out who they are and what their impact could be on the world, I feel like it's almost like an intentional thing to try and kind of silence us and keep us quiet.
Yeah, keep sweet. And yeah, that condition.
Good girl. Be a good girl. Be a good girl.
Oh God, Rachael, I just got triggered.
I know.
Be a good girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, for me, when you were talking, what was coming up for me is I've always had stomach issues, because I was a nervous kid. I've struggled with anxiety probably my whole life, since I'm probably about 4 years old is the first time I can really remember. And at 14, I was diagnosed and given some vocabulary and tools and all the good things there. But that manifested in my stomach because I'm an introvert also. So I didn't act out, I acted in. So when we talk about trusting our gut, that's a challenge for me more now that I'm older and recognize that my gut actually might be more limiting beliefs and might be the bit that it's the sign, right? It's that piece of feedback of like, you got to think through this, you got to, work on it. But what I have found now that I am a little bit more confident and empowered and have more knowledge and wisdom, I guess, that sometimes my gut gives me some bad information, and maybe I shouldn't say that, right? It's still feedback, but that maybe that's not always for me to trust. Like that's an old story. That's a limiting belief that's coming up that I still need to work through. And I certainly don't have the same amount of stomach aches or IBS symptoms that I used to have, But that's where I don't always trust my gut. I trust my heart. There's other pieces, like, okay, that I trust. But that gut one is, and I'm just having this thought real time, honestly.
Yeah.
So
May
yeah,
I
please.
chime in?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like in the domains again, like I wonder if thinking about the different domains that your gut could be having a lot of wisdom in. When you were 4 years old, it was trying to talk to you and get your attention, and that was the wisest thing that your body could have done. And
Yeah.
although sounds so uncomfortable and all of the adjectives that don't feel good that resonate with you, I'm not sure, but that was the wisdom of your body trying to say, hi, we need to connect. We're in disconnection, and this is the only way I can like tug
Totally.
on you to be like,
Yeah.
help, things aren't going well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure since then y'all have had a rocky relationship to be like, there's opportunity for repair there and getting back into trust, but just like knowing where that gut, which domain that gut is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's totally spot on, right? For so many years, it did what it was supposed to do, right? Tell me like something's not right. You need to think about this. You need to work on it. And it was the thing that would, like you say, pull on me to go pay attention to this. And I think in my like late 20s, early 30s, my stomach was good. Like I didn't really have issues. It was, and now that I've made some other life changes, it's back again. And I think, and what I'm finding is, again, that it might be, maybe I need to work on some balance, right? Getting back to, I like how you said that, like we need to rebuild our relationship to get back to trust, my gut and I. Excuse me. But a lot of times when I dissect it, it's bad info.
Her gut's like, why are you talking about me?
Yeah. Could you not? Well, pushing feelings down. I mean, that goes through the throat and, that center line. A lot of us are taught to, be good, don't speak up. That's a similar through thread of what you were saying, Andie, too, of like, could you not be so much? Could you tamp down what makes you you and vibrant? And so you said, I'm quiet in meetings. Like I push down my natural blueprint of who I am and was living by the imprint or the conditioning of what I learned would keep me safe. And that's what most of us have been doing, but then to slow down and to understand, oh, am I operating from conditioning? Is this really me? And that's that incongruence where people find the dis-ease in their bodies. And so that's why I really gravitate towards somatic coaching. I first got my master's of science in counseling, and I love that as a great foundation for me. But I love, getting into the body and learning that door to open to meet people where they're at. It seems more of a direct line and much more playful than just talking about rationalizing our thoughts and feelings and staying up in the head, and actually bringing our brains and our eyes and our feelings down into our body, because that's our original communication.
Yeah. I think all of that's so spot on, because I feel like even the point that Rachael was making, I think if all of us probably stopped for a minute and thought about, whatever some of the emotional baggage is, all of that stuff, and how that's linked to various feelings and ailments in our bodies, I think we would find probably fairly clear connections. I think where I think what's interesting to me is if I reflect back, and anytime my gut tells me something, and then I, with all my imposter syndrome, all my just keep it quiet, all my be a good girl, um, I don't know, mentality, psychology, whatever it is, my gut's always right. like,
Mm.
like years,
Mhm.
whatever the time passes, and I'm like, I knew that. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that there's an interesting thing, and I cannot remember where I saw this, but I know that there was a Harvard study on intuition, that gut feeling, and that being a real thing that probably stems from way, way, way back in the day, thousands of years ago, when we had to have, that was our defense and our, like, because
Mhm.
we're not strong. we're not, we can't battle animals. So we needed that thing that made the hairs on the back of our neck stand up, that thing that
Mhm.
gave us a bit of foresight so we could run and hide, right? In my opinion, is probably it. But there was an actual study on your gut and intuition, and it being a very real thing. And basically, like in elementary school, or as a child, they really kind of educate you out of that, because it's not
Mhm.
practical, or there's not,
Mhm.
you get educated out of that. You stop listening to that. Do you
Yes.
have any exercises or tips or tools as to how people can, like, tune back in?
Yeah. Thank you for asking. Something that I also wanted to mention is, are y'all familiar with the Enneagram? Like the 9 types of, if you're a helper, or there's like, it's kind of like a characteristic thing. They break those down into gut types, heart types, and head types. So not everybody, like how Rachel was saying, like, I can trust my heart. So go there. That's great. Like, listen to your heart. Your heart might flutter, skip a beat, something like that. Maybe the gut isn't um her go-to place. Some people are head types. So just knowing, like, that, again, those like blanket statements, or are you familiar even with human design? It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, so I'm a head type in human design. I'm a 1-3 mental projector. But most of our culture is more of a gut type from there, with their either generators or manifesting generators, depending on their design. And I'm not super schooled in that, but that it's just learning. It all comes down to like learning yourself, like what works for you, and meeting yourself there, and then nurturing that, and then expanding on like building up that trust muscle. Because I think what we as a society, especially those of us that identify as women, are really learning to trust ourselves more. So with somatics, coming back to slowing down and the breath, and really just feeling into our bodies. It could be as simple as creating the space to breathe, because in some senses that's not very simple. You might have to ask everybody in your household to leave you alone for a little bit, and that might be hard to do. That comes back to boundaries. That comes down to worthiness. Do I feel worthy enough to create the time and the space for myself when I have been groomed to put other people first, and now I'm an over carer? So me just saying, just sit down and breathe, there is such a domino effect that all of those stars need to align for that to actually happen. It's, as we know, people need to say, like, what would actually make me feel comfortable and distracted? Maybe asking your partner, could you, if y'all have kids, could you please take the kids outside because I need to have some quiet time? And maybe there's a discussion, a discomfort that comes up around that. So I like to keep things as simple as possible at first, because we will actually, it's a double-edged sword. Humans are more likely to do the most simplest act. So just saying, breathe for 90 seconds. So you can actually give your nervous system the 90 seconds it takes to have a shift. Also, as humans, if it's super simple, it'll be the first thing to go. Like for some reason, we like to complicate things. So it's like, I'll say, do a 90-second breathing exercise because I know it radiates out other things that need to come into play, and it involves usually other people, but that puts us back into the center of our own lives by like meeting those edges. So I don't like to overcomplicate the exercise until maybe the next level is available to be like, oh, I asked for what I needed, it went okay, I have proof that I can do that, and I feel good about it. So then we get to celebrate that win and then maybe bring it to the next level.
I love that. Rachael and I were just this week talking about taking a beat, with that sometimes we, again, it's the idea of that just foot is on the pedal and we're just going. And the example I used was, you get a snarky email and your immediate reaction, your immediate response is, I've got to react and respond to this right now. And the reality is you don't. You can take this 90 seconds to take that deep breath, to reset yourself. I'm reading Let Them by Mel Robbins right now.
Oh yeah.
And she has this whole part about emotions, and I can't remember the details of it, but like emotions, the trigger in your brain, it's actually short. Like when we get anger, the actual anger emotion is short. It is us who relive it, and it creates then, and that's for any emotion. It could be happy, it could be positive, it could be what we perceive as negative, it doesn't matter. Emotions are this like instantaneous thing, and if you take that beat, your actual system will reset from that emotion, and then you will get a chance to like move yourself forward in a different way, rather than hanging on to the negative emotions. So I thought that was it.
I love that. And then having the tools to, when you're in that beat, thinking, what is the wisdom of this anger? It's here to keep me safe. It's my protector. It doesn't want me to get walked on like I have in the past. And so I can, at a certain point, like thank that anger for showing up like my best friend and be like, no, you did not talk to my girl like that. So like having more of a friendship with those heavier emotions, and you can say like, oh, I see you. Thank you for showing up for me. Yes, I did not have that. Like, I appreciate this anger, because anger is a motivator. It moves us forward. It can give us that push. So it's the type of training I have taken for the somatic coaching is vital and integrated tantric approach. And so that is saying on the left-handed side of tantra that we have so much energy when we liberate those emotions that we have been forcing down. So once we understand all the energy we've been using to push that down, that have maybe given us those stomach problems or kept us quiet at those meetings, that once we can be like, oh no, you're free here, then we can have so much more spaciousness to be like, I can propel forward in a way that, does actually keep me safe and is working with me. And we're being true partners together with using this anger for fuel in a fuel efficient way, clean energy way. So
I love it.
Yeah, I'll have to read that Mel Robbins book, or probably listen to it.
Yeah, but I'm listening. Full disclosure, I'm listening to it.
Oh yeah, I love
1.25 at that. But
that makes me anxious.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
See what I mean? I'm like pedal to the metal. I'm like, I got the next book to read. I got like 4 books to read. No, but I think, I do recommend it. I feel like it's, I was already on this path, but it's now giving us permission that, first of all, you can't take on everybody's stuff. That's partially, I think, certainly what we do as women. Can't take on everybody's stuff. And some stuff you just have to let go. Like, everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's going to have to say about what you're doing. Like let them, ultimately sort of the story. So, anyway, Rachael, you doing all right?
No, but thanks for being super pros.
All right.
No. Yeah.
I said this, we'll edit this out, but I said your gut decided it wasn't ready to have this conversation.
I mean, I would love to think there's something deeper, like moving here, and maybe there is, but I think my mom made something, and there's particles in the air, and I just can't. It's burning. There's phyllo dough burning somewhere. So that is what I think is happening. But yeah, so sorry about that. But yeah, we'll cut all me out of this and all the things.
Okay. I think, Lindsay, this has been really great. Is there anything else that you think we should know or that the audience could benefit from?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking. Well, I've created a 6-piece framework that I feel like helps, are great like milestone mile markers, especially for me as the practitioner, to make sure that the clients that I'm working with, like, we can come back to and make sure that we are hitting our marks going into the right direction. And I can share that 6-piece framework with you all to help people feel like they can, I teach witchy women how to do less to receive more and embody partnership. Because I like to bring in ritual and like bringing back into the elements, and it's like a sacred remembrance. Like, oh yeah, we kind of all have the witch wound, or I believe a lot of us do. So we're like, we want to stay good girls so we don't get burned at the stake. So just kind of celebrating that aspect of us and really, feel comfortable moving your body, like feel comfortable expressing a little bit more bigger, opening your wings, opening your heart, like just, being in our flow. So the first part is in-source your own safety. And I use the word in-source because I think a lot of us look outward to receive affirmation that we're on the right track. And so the very first piece before we can even go on is like, can you give that to yourself? Like, can you feel like almost no matter what, if you're living in your value system, that you are safe? The second one is respecting your own boundaries. And so that's not just like stating your boundaries and hoping everybody around you will do that doing for you. You used the word consequences earlier. Was it Andie? I'm not sure where you were talking about being at work. Like sometimes there's consequences. And so really being able to stick to, asking someone, maybe you're in the dating world, and saying, I really appreciate a text the next day. Like, that's what feels good to me. And if that person says, okay, but then never texts you the next day after, it's just like, oh, okay, I have the message. Like, this is a boundary for me. Like, we're not dating anymore. It's that simple. Not making excuses for the other person. So
listen to people. They'll tell you exactly.
Yes, exactly. If their actions and their words match, great. We like that. Green flags. Number 3 is confidently voicing your own needs. So if we don't feel safe, we won't voice our own needs. So we really need that order, because there is, sometimes I invite people to have the mantra, I am safe enough to have needs. that goes for the overcarers, because they are operating, and I will include myself in those, in certain domains of, oh, it's safe for me to share, well, be best for me, going back to the breath work. Like, I need 90 seconds to breathe. I need y'all to leave the house. So that's a great mile marker. Number 4 is trusting that you are enough to make strides forward, to really be in true partnership. That is a worthiness piece, feeling like I'm enough. Rachael, you said, I feel like I'm in a relationship with my husband where we both are whole. You are enough to be there. You just like, not just like each other, y'all like each other, don't need each other, you choose each other, and that's enough. Number 5 is feeling secure in your body. We have, social media and magazines and unrealistic body expectations.
Family circles.
Yeah. It's like we're dealing with Botox and Ozempic and working out all the time and energy drinks and not resting during winter to, have that bikini body, to feel that we are enough. So that all of those things build up to say, oh, I do feel secure in my body, and finding that security is a key word. And then the final step is embody true partnership. So that is taking ownership of yourself. That's like, I am a true partner. I'm not doing more than my part. I expect my partner, whether that be in the workplace or, a friendship, dating, marriage, to like, you are living that, and staying in your lane, and allowing the other person to either rise up to meet you or do less and come meet you where you both are at. So yeah, that's something that I've created that really helps my clients and I move forward, so I can confidently say, cool, you get to do less and receive more. And
I love that so much.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
love that so much. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I've quickly been able to identify my work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's work in every bit, but I really like how you're going back to the domains, right? So we don't show up and we're not the same persona or archetype in every spot, right? Like we are different. We have different needs, and the way we show up is differently in each one of these domains. So I'm really going to embody that thought too, and just owning the body, right? I think that is a lifelong struggle, or maybe that's also part of the teaching. Like, we're taught that it's a lifelong struggle. So, when you are comfortable, should you be comfortable? Like, do we need to give ourselves permission to even be like, what if I am okay at this weight and this thing, and this is how I look and I'm okay, So I don't know if that's still part of the work, or,
Yeah.
Permission,
Permission, I feel like, could be the name of this episode. Just
yeah,
give yourself
Yeah.
permission to slow down.
yeah.
Oh, I
and
love
feel.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much for sharing with us. This was a beautiful conversation. We love having this time to be introspective and have beautiful partners who are so thoughtful and full of wisdom and clear. You're very clear. So I really appreciate your approach, and I'm sure that the folks who have been able to work with you and in the future will have the wonderful opportunity. What a gift to be able to work with you through this beautiful 6-step process. Just sounds quite miraculous, really.
Yes.
So,
May I share one quick thing too before we say goodbye?
please.
Yeah. My husband and I, Sean, he's amazing. He's an amazing true partner. And he and I have 2 90-minute pre-recorded offerings called Ritual Date Night, where we walk people through like 5 somatic practices that you can just push play and actually be present with your partner. And we hold the container and the time and follow like some really easy, doable steps, but to actually experience connection, and go deeper in the relationship with talking points and breath work and holding. And so those are really accessible ways to work with me asynchronously, and then experience me and my partner embodying true partnership um, in those domains.
Oh, beautiful.
Love it.
Sounds wonderful. We would
Love it.
love to share that. So we will certainly get that out. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And yeah, we hope to continue the conversation, and we maybe we'll even hope to have you in our Jamaica retreat, where we focus on women going through menopause and perimenopause. So
I love that.
yeah,
I
we
love
didn't get
that
to we didn't
connection.
get to talk about that yet, but that'll be a topic for the next time. But so beautiful to connect with you. I'm glad we were able to make this happen. So
Same, same, same. Thank you both so much, Andie and Rachael.
thank
You're
you.
amazing. I really
Thank
appreciate
you,
this
Lindsay.
time.
Thanks.
Thank you.